My name's Sophia. I'm 17.
You hear stories about this happening all the time, but I never thought it would happen to me. What was your day, Mom?
It's okay.
Well, what did you do at work?
It never took a toll on me until I started to realize that other families were happy with what they had.
And we got a call from my aunt, and my mom just fell on the ground crying, and me and my dad were just so confused.
Seeing someone in my family be that hurt and realizing I can't do anything about it impacted me in a way that nothing else has.
I just told her, I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. And she goes, well, you can go home soon. And I was like, no, you don't understand. I don't want to be here anymore.
Millions of people suffer from depression. And here's my story.
The new thing was just like having a kid not want to live anymore.
I went into the bathroom and I grabbed a razor blade and I started cutting, and I just couldn't deal with it anymore. And my dad came into the bathroom and saw me on the floor, and he didn't know what to do. He started crying, and my little brother was just standing at the door, and he was just sitting there, and he looked so disappointed in everything that was happening.
It was probably the hardest time in my life, just not even like the pain for myself, but just seeing my mom go through so much pain.
They've always been there for me when I needed them the most, and they've helped me through my depression as well. My depression's also taken a really big toll on my anxiety. My anxiety leads me to not be able to deal with big group functions.
So when I was younger, I looked up to my cousin. We would go to every Rockford football game and cheer him on. Not being able to watch him anymore and even get to hang out with him, even on like the holidays and special times when I got to see him. I miss those days where I got to hang out with him.
My parents had tried to get me to hang out with my neighbors and my best friend and all these people and do all these fun activities and go like places as a family to get me out of the house. And we went from a family of 4 to a family of 3. I wasn't myself and I didn't know why. It was one of those things where I thought it was just in my head, but then my parents started to notice some signs and like some things that like they had never seen in me before, and they started talking to my pediatrician about it. She recommended me to a counselor. It made me feel different, and I just wanted to be like everyone else. I didn't want to have to admit that there was something wrong with me. My parents wouldn't know what to do because they had never seen me like this before.
It wasn't until January of 2018 when I started to self-harm. At first it wasn't much, and then started to leave scars. I wore a lot of long sleeves. I cried a lot. There were days where I didn't want to get out of bed, do anything. I skipped a lot of school. I started to fail classes. I started to fall behind. My dad never really noticed until the spring when I had my track season, where I started wearing long sleeves to track meets even though it was 80 degrees outside. I tried to hide things from coaches. I tried to hide things from teachers just so that they wouldn't ask me what was going on.
He actually went to a party. He ended up just passing out and wouldn't wake up. They brought him to the hospital and he was later pronounced dead. It just completely changed how I feel about drugs and how close I want to be with my family members. You never know when it's going to be their last day.
They admitted me into Pine Rest for 2 weeks for self-harm. It was probably the worst 2 weeks of my life. When I got home, my dad couldn't look at me the same way anymore. I wasn't the little girl who used to smile and run track and play basketball. I was just the girl we saw on the bathroom floor trying to kill herself.
What they didn't know was that weekend I planned to end my life. When I went and got baptized, I shared my testimony. Even just on hearing it, my mom had that what if, and she was having those what ifs with me here still. And I can't imagine the amount of what ifs she would have if I wasn't.